Bury her next to Jasper's leg. Well, how about you leave another grave next to Jasper's leg and whoever we're burying this episode and stick this show in it? We'll come back to Fog Entertainment. We're here for another review, Season 6, Episode 6. It's one of those, weird, what do you call them? The numbers where it's like ends the same at both ends, either or. This show has run its course. I actually thought this episode was probably better than most episodes that we've seen from Fear the Walking Dead, but that doesn't mean it's going to be any good. And what we've got essentially to kick off this episode is this woman whose name is absolutely eluding me. I have no idea what her name is, man. But Virginia and our wee buddies whose name I don't even know who it is. I think one of them's called Hill. Don't know what the other one's called, but they're riding on horseback. They confront the woman. She's like, "Right, well, you're coming back with us." And then she's like interrogating her. He's like, "I'm going to bury you right next to Jasper's leg. What is this little saying? The end is the beginning." And then she just shoots herself, falls back, and starts getting ate by a walker. And you're sitting there thinking, all right, this is brilliant. We then cut to June and Sarah. They're now running a mobile clinic, but they've had a lot of bad luck. Tried to save a guy whose appendix burst and he just dies. I mean, that is the crazy thing, though. It's like Castaway as well. Like, see these situations like Apocalypse or, where you're stranded or whatever. If your appendix goes and you're not a doctor, man, you're fucking snookered. And I believe in Lost. Jack, the main character, his appendix bursts, but obviously because he was a doctor, he had to perform it on him. Oh no, did he perform? I think he helped someone perform it on him. He talked them through it, which is mighty impressive. Doing a fucking. But see, I think that's a bit of a plot hole. We lost because what they had was people who ended up on that island who were paralyzed or had cancer were like automatically cured of those diseases. But then while on the island, Jack gets he gets appendicitis and he has to get his appendix took out. So it's like, hold on, if this can cure people who are paralyzed and cure people like cancer, you'd think that a disease such as your appendix would not exist. But here, maybe it only fixes stuff from the real world. I tell you what, Lost is a show I'd like to rewatch. Only watched it once, and I do feel like, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, Fear the Walking. I mean, I'm currently doing a Fear the Walking Dead, man. I'm talking about Lost, talking about being lost. I think to get a true grasp of shows, you do need to watch it more than once. But fun fact, folks, I will not be watching Fear the Walking Dead more than once. But anyway, the guy, he dies of his burst appendix. June and John, they're reunited. He's trying to convince her to flee to his cabin. She's like, no, I can't do it. I need to save people. But then there's a message from Luciana. There's been a disaster at Tank Town. A new well has exploded. So the job squad then arrive. Virginia, John, June, Sarah, Luciana, and the pioneers, man. They're getting to work. They're trying to save the survivors of the disaster. But then they read the end is the beginning. So Virginia's like, well, you know what? This is not an accident anymore. I need to get to the bottom of this. She tries to get to the bottom of this. We get a few people who are injured. Wes, he's been hit with a bit of metal and she's interrogating him and a few others, but she's like moving the metal about and the guy's stunning him, refusing him medical attention. Oh, you tell me who it is. You've got the spray paint. It had to be you, Wes. It had to be you. I mean, just because he's got spray paint doesn't mean it was him. But also, I just can't stand this Ginny character, Virginia, whatever you want to call her, man. Just a nagging bastard. An absolute nagging bastard that offers nothing to the plot. Well, I mean, she offers stuff to the plot, but just a forced character. And how'd she rise to a leadership role? All she does is bitch. People are dying. Her own people are dying. Instead of helping them, right? She just wants to interrogate them. Like Luciana points out here that like 30 people are trapped in a well and are probably dead. And there's like 15 more that are injured. I mean, she's literally losing about 50 of her people. And here she is, not batting an eyelid, just more concerned about what happened here. What the correct protocol is here. Save everybody and then ask questions later. But she does the complete utter opposite. But then an explosion happens. Virginia ends up getting bit on the hand. Her and June are trapped. June is refusing to amputate it. Virginia's like, right, I'll do it. They get into a bit of a squabble. And then she's like, oh, you're everything that's wrong with around here, Virginia. But then she's like, no, there's a bigger threat than her. And my methods are geared towards protecting the people in their communities. Is this like a reference to the CRM or something? I'm not too sure. June then's like, oh, fine then, I'll save you. And she cuts off the hand of Virginia. But Virginia get bit in the hand, right? And all June does is cut off the hand. It's not like she cut off a massive piece extra. Because obviously the infection spreads. So, I mean, is this plot purposes? Who knows? But look at Herschel, folks, right? Guy gets bit, and what happens? I mean, about 2 minutes later, Rick's whipped the hatchet out and he's cut his leg off. Here, I mean, a lot of time takes place, man. This could have very easily have spread. But after June saves Virginia, you could say she's a woman of her word here, gives June a whole new hospital, her own hospital to take care of people. Tanktown is destroyed. In the aftermath, John's like, right, we need to go, June. June's like, no, I can't go. And then it's like, what are we doing here? We get this like Fast and Furious ending after Luciana, Sarah and Wes and Wendell getting it back of a truck, right? And then what happens is, like, John's following them, and the truck goes left and he goes right. And it's like, if you've ever watched Fast and Furious 7, obviously after the death of Paul Walker, this is a carbon copy of it, folks. An absolute carbon copy of it. But why is John leaving? Why is John and his wife just copying the Sherry and Dwight story? And why is John leaving without his wife? The whole purpose should be he wants to take his wife with him, get him safe for Virginia. She's like, it's all right, we've got our own hospital. I don't know, man. I think this episode was just very weird. You know, a lot happened. Like, you know, the main villain lost her hand. John was going back and forth with his emotions here. I mean, there was a lot of deaths, there was a lot of explosions, there was a lot of drama, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend it was like the greatest thing I've ever seen, because guess what, folks? It wasn't. So, yeah, on that note, what am I going to give this episode out of 10? I will give this episode you know, I thought it was probably the best episode of Fear I've seen in a while. I'll give it a 5. Is 5 ridiculously high? Some people might be bashing me giving it a 5, who knows, but that's what I'm going to give it. Anyway, folks, leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, peace.